Hello everyone, I'm RecV5.
And I'm Sandman99.
Merry Christmas, and welcome back to Madden NFL 2004 Santa's Elves franchise.
Yes, and last week we had a big win against the Green Bay Goblins. So we managed to sweep them in the season series. Although it was a pretty messy game, I threw 2 interceptions and the Green Bay quarterback threw 4. So it was an ugly game, but that was largely decided by turnovers. In fact, most of the scoring on both sides was a result of turnovers. So,
well, year of the turnover.
Yeah, anyway, it looks like the runners here are a passing team. They've got a pretty good quarterback. Actually, they look like they're an offense team.
I think they're a smash mouth team.
Well, they got a pretty good quarterback, though, and good running back, good wide receivers, good offensive line. So,
And then oh yeah, you're probably right, offense team, because their defense is like cupcake grade.
Yeah, pretty much. So, anyway, this ought to be an interesting matchup. But hopefully, I can refrain from throwing the ball to the other side.
Well, their jerseys will look quite a bit different from ours.
Yeah.
No green in them anyways.
Yeah, really. But anyway, that has been a problem for me so far in this playthrough all season long. I think I must be averaging close to 2 interceptions a game, actually, so far. So I'm not doing very well in the passing department.
Well, except for the fact that we're actually doing extremely well in terms of league statistics regarding turnovers.
Yeah.
Everybody throws more interceptions than you do.
Yeah. Yeah, and I thought that my quarterback play was awful.
Nope, it's just this game. It's just this year.
Yeah. But anyway, here we go. It looks like we're in San Diego.
Yep.
Game. Both of today's teams are looking for a win and trying to establish momentum going into the stretch run. So thanks for joining us as the visiting team square off against the home team. Al Michaels and John Madden here to broadcast this one, brought to you by EA Sports, the company that defines football.
You talk about a quarterback who can lead his team to victory. This guy has all the tools you look for.
See, you throw so few interceptions, they're still talking you up.
And the ability to hit a receiver anywhere on the field.
Actually, he's about the only good player on the offense. That's probably why they keep talking about him.
Yeah, and then they talk about this guy because he leads the league in catches, right?
Yeah.
Every game, it's the same 2 players.
Well, he does happen to be the most reliable receiver that I have, so...
Yeah, he's got the highest catching rating.
Yeah.
See if they stick to that game plan.
Wow, those guys got to be careful.
Well, they got blue jerseys, so hopefully it'll be easy for me to tell the difference.
Yeah, you're not colorblind, are you?
No, I don't think so. I can tell the difference between green and blue, I hope. Looks like they won the toss and elected to receive, and it's windy in San Diego, so I think we'll defend this end.
They're lined up and ready for the kickoff, so let's go.
Yeah, wow, is it ever windy?
Yeah.
Time to set audibles.
Yep. So we'll just get there. Okay, that's good for me for now, I guess.
All right.
Yeah, I think that probably what I'm going to do in order to avoid turnovers is maybe throw a few more of those short curls and things like that. And if I have to punt it away because I don't get enough yards to make a first down, well, it's probably better than throwing it to the other team.
I wouldn't worry about it so much. You shouldn't let the last game get in your head. That was just a mess on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
And I think it was destined to be a mess. I mean, you saw how some of those all Madden players reacted. They're superhuman. That's why they're all Madden players.
Yeah.
Stick to your game plan.
Well, the thing about throwing over the middle in this game is that you can profit from throwing over the middle,
Get back to the action on
but
the field.
it's also a little bit riskier than throwing to the outsides, right?
In to kick this one off.
That being said, that it's less risky for throwing interceptions throwing to the outside, but it's also more difficult in this game, right? Unless you're throwing to the flat, I guess.
And then it becomes risky again.
Well, that depends on who you're playing against, right?
And what kind of coverages they run. Zone or...
I know the AI sure does throw to the flat a lot, so...
They also play a lot of flat zones too, though.
Yeah, they do, actually.
The corners playing off a bit. Abraham gets set.
Wow, look at that. They came out passing and you got a sack on the first play.
On the tight end side of no less.
Well, that doesn't... I don't think that matters so much in this game as it does in Madden 05, because...
Well, they didn't leave him in.
Yeah, in this game, they don't leave the tight end in to block so much, right?
Under pressure with the pass. Right to him. And he stopped at the 29-yard
No, that's okay. They made that back with the good old short streak. Maybe that's what we'll call that. We'll call it a short streak.
Yeah, they just audible to a 5-yard streak?
Yeah.
That's what it is?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Abraham
It's a short streak.
Man in motion. Hands off to the tailback. And he just gets by.
Well, he was stumbling when he went through there, but he made it.
Sticks on that run. Giving some cushion on the outside.
Just got to adjust my microphone here.
The quarterback lines up with two backs behind him.
There.
He'll pass on first down.
That was a backward pass. Wow.
Yep.
And he's pushed
Lucky they're lucky he caught that.
Just about a 3-yard gain.
We had one game in this season already where a team tried to do that 2 or 3 times and they had like 2 fumbles.
Yeah, they repeatedly threw it backwards.
Yeah. They just kept throwing it backwards and they got into trouble doing that.
Dropping back. Pressure coming. Looking for an option with the throw. He couldn't bring that pass in.
It looked like he had it, but he just couldn't get it under
Well,
control.
he catches the short streak and then drops the in route where he's already running the route properly, eh?
I know, makes no sense, right?
Yeah, really. You would think that he would have dropped the short streak, and then if he's going to run an in route like that, that he would catch that instead.
Pressure, rolling.
I can understand not catching that.
It's a fake.
He's looking for a good punt here. Here's the punt.
And it's a short punt.
Wow, do they have
That
good
guy
special
just,
teams?
Yeah, he just ran right around those 2 guys, eh?
Yep.
They didn't even touch him.
First and 10 here. Ball on their own 30.
You need a punt return formation where you have like 4 guys on each side, right?
I need a punt return formation where I've got Santa Claus out there.
Number 25 goes in motion.
You do. He's the punt returner.
I know, but I need him to block.
Pass play on first down. Closing in with the throw. And it's complete. Green records the stop at the 48. Number 1 fires it in there for a first down.
Wow, he really put some mustard on that one.
They were bringing a blitz on the very first play there, hey?
Well, this is what they do in Madden 04. They're always sending extra guys, it seems.
Under pressure, surveying the field.
Oh, somebody knocked it down at the line.
He was open.
Yeah. No, it just took a little bit too long for him to get, you know, like to the point where he'd run enough of his route that I could throw it to him.
Yep.
And by the time he did, their defense had collapsed the offensive line in, right?
Calling an audible now. Wallace, the motion man. Looking for a receiver, and he hits his nice target. The receiver did a nice
See, the
job
guy was
creating
spying
some
in the middle there, but I
separation.
didn't want to throw the slant over the middle because it's easier for him to get to that, right?
Yep.
And so
Come out of
I
the
just,
can
I
force
just,
the
fig-
curl
I just
in.
figured the curl was a little bit safer because you can zip it in there really fast.
man in motion.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and at worst, maybe the guy takes a hit and he drops it or something.
Yeah.
Drops back with the throw, and the catch is made. 4-yard gain on the play. He'll try to pin them close to the goal line. Here's the kick. And he chooses not to return this one.
The desperation fair catch there, hey?
Yeah, really. Man,
Wow.
if that had just bounced
I would
once.
just love it if they would lose the handle on one of those, because that's... I don't think that a player in Madden 05 can even catch a ball that way.
Nope. I can confirm that they cannot.
On first down, gets the pass off right to him. Down he goes at the 23. The receiver was able to get that pass under control and bring it into his body for the reception.
Yeah, that was a bit of a curl flat on that side. I'm playing curl flats to that side, trying to compensate for their tight end.
Abraham
Yeah.
gets set. Pressure coming. Throwing.
Oh, we lost it. There, we got it back. We got it. That's definitely a fumble. Hey, what the hell? I guess we didn't get it back. Huh.
They must have considered that a fumble out of
Well,
bounds.
yeah, maybe it got out of bounds before our player picked it up,
Ball on
right?
their own 31.
The cheese.
Yeah.
Nah, we'll do.
Tosses it left. Thomas did a great job getting in there to bring him down.
Here's what happened. They ran to the outside looking for some room to run off tackle, but he was in the backfield so fast he had no chance to set up the play. That's just great defense.
And he gets the delayed hand.
You're mine.
Yep.
Work with on that
Well,
play.
it didn't get anything there.
The defense did a good job anticipating the snap count. With an aggressive defense like this, a hard count could be an effective way to keep them off balance while trying to draw them off sides.
Abraham sends a man in motion. Pressure gets the pass off.
Hey, they actually batted it down for once.
Yep, the cornerback reached in there and knocked it
That's a
away.
right decision in that case. Get rid of the ball and take the incomplete.
This will be his second punt of the game. Here's the punt. And he waves for the fair catch.
They have a good punter.
Yeah, that was a pretty good punt for into a strong wind like that.
Changing the play now.
Seen this look before.
With the carry.
Lots of space up the
Pickup of
middle.
about 8.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're doing there, but I've seen somebody else do that
They
once or
lead about
twice
3.
before
Ball
in
on their
this
own
playthrough too, right? Where they pair, like they have the two linebackers standing really close together on one side.
I bet you some man coverage blitz thing.
Maybe, I don't know.
He tucks it away. Pickup of about a yard on the run. Calling an audible now. Fullback handoff. Number 25.
Oh,
Barely
just
makes it past
made
the
it.
first down. Should have been stopped short, but he was
Well, Justice still made it.
Yeah, just barely made it.
That one on the defense.
That was pretty
they
close.
Had a shot out. They just couldn't bring them down.
So they have 1st and 10 here.
What do we got going on over there? That guy's leaning quite a bit, isn't he?
He could be feigning a blitz to...
Yeah, he might be faking. I don't know. We'll see.
They'll pass on 1st down.
Yeah, he's faking it.
And this pass is completed. Big opening.
Well, that's okay. This is why you throw it to Taylor. And this is how Taylor makes his money.
Yeah. Well, if he'd have been actually blitzing there, I might have gotten even more out of that because he wouldn't have actually been there to occupy one of my blockers then, right?
Number 1 sets up. Changing the play now.
That's something I don't remember seeing in Madden 05 either, right?
But the fake blitz?
Yeah, you know how the corners will lean sometimes and look like they might be... Ooh, look at that. Where they might be coming on a blitz and then they back up again.
Yeah, they don't do that in Madden 05.
Yeah, they don't really show you that. They don't show you what they're... If they don't show you that they might be up to something.
They said he grabbed it and twisted it.
Even if they're just kidding.
Automatic 1st down.
And they find themselves in scoring range. Taylor moves in motion. Hand it off. Breaking free. Pickup of about 8. Second and 2 coming up here. Ball on the 13-yard line. Number 1 sees something in the defense.
See if we can pick up a couple of yards around the left side here.
He tucks it away.
Yep.
They've got the defense off balance. It's another 1st down.
You know, this defense has tried everything. Man coverage, a blitz, the zones, the 6 defensive backs, 7 defensive backs. They've really mixed up their defenses.
I don't know if they've gone to all those lengths or not, but...
looks like he's changing the play. This one is handed off.
Nice run up the middle there.
Very difficult to bring
Yep.
down, and he also has
Now
to
you can just jam it in there.
Yep.
Oops,
Oops, wrong
that have one of the
formation here.
roughest training regimens that I've
There
ever
we go.
heard about. You know how hard Jerry Rice has always worked out, right? Well, these guys might be right there with him. They lift weights, they run on treadmills, climb walls, you name it, they do it.
looks like he's calling an audible. Pull that handoff.
There we go.
Visiting team.
You took the big hit going across, though.
Yep.
But you still made it.
Center and guard and keep pushing and pushing until they're putting up 6 points on the board.
Well, maybe that's the way to do it in this
Still
game.
trying to tack on the extra
If I
point.
can run with some success against these guys. Maybe I'll just play the old four yards in a cloud of dust game today.
Well, that'll save you from throwing an interception.
Yeah.
Then you'll just fumble the ball 3 times.
Thanks. I really needed those words of encouragement there, Recti5X.
No
Thanks,
problem.
Thanks
I'm just,
a lot.
I'm just trying to help you look at the world on the bright side of things.
Yeah. Wow, I'm glad I aimed that a little bit to the left.
Well, I can't believe
If I'd
you
aimed
missed
that
that.
straight down to the middle, if I'd aimed that straight down the middle, I would have kicked it out of bounds.
Yep. Well, you know what, though? I'm still surprised he missed that.
Yeah. Well, he probably might have just let it go, too, right?
Risky to let a kickoff go.
Well, it can be. Wow, look at that, eh? I'm guessing he must have been trying to throw some kind of a deep pass or a slow developing route or something.
I think so.
Because it took a long time to get to him.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Yeah, like what's he doing out there? He's got a curl on the right. He's got a streak on the left. Is that what or a streak on the right, I mean?
Yep, that's a streak.
Yeah. And then that guy reaches the end of the route and stops, right? Or does he stop because that guy finally got sacked, maybe?
Might have stopped because he got sacked.
Yeah, he was probably watching and waiting for that guy to try and outrun your coverage, right? Maybe that's what he was doing.
Let's get back to the play on the field.
It's hard to say sometimes.
Well, a quick blitz will prevent that kind of thing.
Sets up. Hand off to the tailback. Stiff arm there. Good gain of about 7.
These guys are using that offset running back and single back. Did you notice that?
Yep.
The corners are backing off.
You don't see that a lot.
Kenny comes in motion. Under pressure. Throws it.
Yeah.
Incomplete pass.
I mean, he threw that in the area like 4 guys.
Yeah. I think he had to get rid of it though because you were coming for him there, and you were almost there, right?
He has to know who his hot receiver is if he feels pressure.
He got rid of that before he could be sacked, basically.
Offense couldn't get it done, and they'll line up to punt. Here's the kick. And he signals to the
Yeah, this guy's got a major league leg, that's for sure.
And major league coverage team to match.
Yeah.
And got it into the end zone.
It's had to be interesting to see how he kicks with the wind.
Looks like he's calling an audible. Gives the ball off. Rumbles ahead for about 5.
Patrick Stewart.
What the hell do they call him? They always call him by the wrong name.
I forget now what it, but yeah, they call him something that's definitely
Phil.
not Stewart.
Yeah, they call him Phil for some reason.
5 yards to go. Ball on their own 39.
Yeah, they call him something that's definitely not Stewart.
I don't know, is Phil short for Patrick or something?
I don't think so.
Using motion. Gets rid of it.
Well, I think he's wide open over there.
Yep. Oh.
That'll move the change, John.
Yeah, when you put together a great pass...
Oh, he just left his helmet behind. Still sitting on the sideline over there.
Good.
Maybe he got his bell rung by that a little bit or something.
Yeah, really.
Like, durr, I'm going to play the next play without my helmet. Oh, I have to run this play. There'll be 1 second left on the game clock here.
Gives the ball off. Running back picks up about 7 yards.
Oh, not a bad start.
Nope, not too bad.
And we're
So
ready to
far,
start the second quarter.
so far, so good. Things seem to be going fairly smoothly.
It's second down and 3 to go. Directing traffic.
Yeah, it's weird though, but the team we had the most trouble with was Atlanta. And they're way lower rated than these guys.
Are they?
They are.
Here's the thing. They were
Well, I think the thing here, though, is that these guys, because they're a strong offense team, their defense seems to be just a little bit soft, right?
Looks like he's calling an audible. Gets the pass off right to him. That blitz exploited for a first down.
Yeah, the quarterback did a heck of a job to read what the defense was doing and find the right guy.
So they have 1st and 10 here. Ball on the 18-yard line. Roll back handoff.
Good.
Straight ahead for a gain of a couple.
Well, I guess that's okay. Managed to get a couple of yards.
Keeps the clock running, less chance they get to score on me.
Yep. If we can keep him busy, play keep away.
Fulcher, the man in motion. Again, he'll get the call.
Just keep giving them the ball.
It's 3rd down and a yard. Ball on the 9-yard line. 8th play of this drive. Collins comes in motion.
Well, look at that. They reacted to it, eh?
Yep.
Tosses it out to the left.
Oh.
Number 25 was dragged down before he could get to the line of scrimmage.
They have great size and quickness up front. That allows them to hold up against the run while also giving them the speed to rush the passer when they drop back to pass.
Number 7 heads out onto the field.
I thought having that extra blocker out there might help, but it didn't.
And it's on its way, and that kick is right on target.
Well, that's okay. Easy kick.
And the kickoff team comes out onto the field.
Well, you can't run it straight up the middle all the time, right? Because then after a while, that's not going to work either.
He gets the kick away.
Well, I'm going to have to cover this one, I guess.
From the 8. The defense shut down the offense the last time they had the ball.
Hawk out right. Back off, DB. Hawk out right.
They'll go from the I formation. Rogers moves in motion. Passing on 1st down. Throws it. This one falls incomplete. And he's
Well, I would say that one was contested.
I just don't know
Yep,
how you
the
lose
safety
focus
was
in a
right there.
football game.
Stay after him. Bro. That's all you. Get in there.
Look at this.
This one is handed off.
They're in that,
that's one of those swing formations, right?
yeah, near or far.
Yeah, near or far. I don't remember which one is which now. Whether I think it's far if the halfback is lined up like away from the tight end side, and near if he's lined up on the tight end side, right? Because it's actually the fullback that's lined up behind the quarterback in that in those
Ball on their own 31.
formations.
Can't figure
Right?
this
Yep.
one out, but they just backed up their corners and safeties, even though they'll probably.
But I don't think anybody.
Oh, he spun.
Uh-oh.
The 40.
Ooh. I don't think anybody
Taking your man out of the
uses
play.
those formations very much
You know, this is
anymore.
the kind of block that
Right.
guys dream about. I mean, he just unloads.
I
on
couldn't
that
say
guy.
to myself.
Those are sort of leftovers from earlier days, right?
Again with the run.
What is that?
I just can't line myself up there to tackle him. It's my bad. See, what ends up happening here is I'm hitting to the left in order to beat my guy, right?
Yeah, I know, but
And
it's
then
like
I thought I should have had him there.
yeah. Well, it looked like it, and then for some reason you turned and went the opposite direction.
Yeah, and then I just couldn't line myself up again to go get him again. I even tried hitting the face of the line of scrimmage button, but it was too late by then.
Let's go. Come on.
Yeah. Well, like I said, that you don't have all the same tools in this game as you do in Madden 05
That
for
was
playing
just the
defense,
getting
defensive
lower than
line
the offensive
particularly,
line.
right?
When your defensive guys up front can control the line of scrimmage, it makes it very difficult to move the ball on offense.
They need about 3. Ball on the 45-yard line.
Come on, partner. Run.
6th play of this drive. Going to the right.
Well, you got to stop again.
Yeah, they tried
Yep.
to get around the end. He came up from his corner position, and boom, he makes a heck of a tackle.
For the 4th time, he's brought in to kick the ball away. Here's the punt.
Yeah, run into that guy.
No return here.
You have to, or else they'll down it right there.
Yeah, he almost got to it anyway.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't hit stick that guy.
No, but uh-oh.
Where are you going there?
Makes
I tried to run sideways, and this little tiny D-pad that I'm trying to work with here, I guess, took that as backward, right? That's why I like those cheapy D-pads that we were using before better, actually, because
they're bigger.
Yeah, the D-pad is bigger, right? I have a little easier time.
Number 1 with a man in motion. Drops back. He surveys the field. Rolling. Almost picked off.
Well, I tried lobbing it up there, but...
Yeah, he started thinking about how he was going to take it back the other way and make a big play for the defense. He just forgot to bring the ball with him.
Yeah, I just don't even know how you throw a route like that.
Well, sometimes you gotta try, right?
7 defensive backs in on this one.
Watch the middle linebacker and the safety on the left.
Yeah.
Using motion. Looking downfield, rolling out to his left. Launches it.
Oh, wow. I thought I had something there.
But the ball sailed.
He's got a strong arm, and sometimes he'll let a pass get away from him a little bit, and you'll see him overthrow it just like that one.
I don't know why that would have been overthrown. I'm throwing it into the wind.
Going on that series, they'll have to punt it away here. He kicks a line drive. Blocking begins downfield. This could be big.
Oh, come on. I missed him twice.
He had
Good
an outstanding
God.
return.
Sometimes as a coverage team, it's easy to over-pursue. And if you do that, you end up running right by the guy you're supposed to be tackling.
Well, I would have got him on the third try. It's those little spins and jukes and things like that, though, that drive you crazy, right? Like in
Yeah,
this
they're
game.
way more effective.
They're
in
way
this
more
game.
effective in this game. Like they can literally make a move like that and leave you with nothing but air.
Incomplete. Big drop on that.
Whereas in Madden 05, it seems like it's a little harder for them to be able to do stuff like that, right?
Yep.
It looks like he's really having a tough time keeping his concentration out there.
It would be nice if you could just leave that guy on autopilot and actually have him play the coverage correctly.
I think the only way you'd be able to do that is if you kicked it straight down the middle of the field,
Yeah.
as you saw last game.
Yeah, that way if he only has to just run in a straight line, then it's all good, yeah. I don't know, after that experience, I might try angling the ball up a little bit. Ooh.
John, it looked like that was going
Just to get the coverage down there on top of that guy, right?
Yep.
Because the kind of return he had there, I might as well have done that. Try and get like a 4 or 5 second hang time.
I mean, I'd say you probably don't got to angle it all the way up, but angling it a little ways up would probably help.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant, right? I wasn't going to angle it all the way up, but I figured I'd try it, like angling it maybe just a couple of taps upward.
Inside their own 20.
But if I can't make a first down here by third down, I think I'm just going to kick it down the field as far as it'll go.
Calling an audible now. Hand off to the tailback. He can't wrap him up. Nice pickup on the ground, maybe about 6.
Unless I'm awfully close, like a yard or less here.
Directing traffic. Man in motion. Closing in with the throw. He has some room.
Yeah, there's no stiff arming here. You stick your arm out and I'm just going to rip it off and beat you to death with it, right?
Yeah, basically.
He can throw him medium, he can throw him anyway.
Wow.
It's 1st and 10. Looks like he's changing the play. Using motion. Surveying the field. Gets rid of it, and
He had a little trouble getting out there.
Yeah, well, that defensive end went really wide.
Yeah.
Ended up running into him, I think.
Oh well, I guess it's kind of like a run play, right?
Yeah, well, and think of it as pass blocking, right? He pass blocks for you, and then he releases and runs that little curl.
Yep.
Number 1 sends a man in motion. Drops back under pressure with the throw, and it's complete. Right on the mark there to move the chains.
And the thing is, the secondary looked a little on their heels on that one. They just couldn't converge.
Yeah, I think Coyle there has
now they get a whole new set of downs.
very high carrying rating.
Ball
Yeah.
at midfield.
But
Yeah, he doesn't really have much else, but he does seem to be able to catch the ball when I throw it to him most of the time too, right?
yeah, he can catch and he can carry. He can't break tackles. He's not a fast guy. He's not a powerful runner. But he won't cough it up most of the time.
I think they forgot to block somebody there.
Number 37. Couldn't find any room on that one.
They really hustle on the defensive side of the ball. They're very good at clogging up the line, limiting the number of holes and cutback lanes that the back has to choose from.
Number 1 sets up. Taylor moves in motion. Pressure coming. Throws it.
Well, I'm just going to throw it to that guy again.
Just won't go down. And he's forced out of bounds at the 36. They've got something going here.
Yeah, it's been one first down after another. They're putting together a nice-looking drive here.
And this is the 7th play of this
They're
drive.
cheating that safety down slightly.
Yeah,
How much
they've
you want
got
to bet?
everybody rather close to the line there, don't they?
Watch the middle for a zone.
Gets the pass
No,
off.
it's the jumping lineman defense, right? It's the jumping lineman pass defense. That's what that is. And it's not because they do that often in a real game, you know?
Directing
uh,
It's
traffic.
just that,
The visiting team.
In this game, every lineman is a basketball player.
well, no, in this game, it's like every time, wow, I got somebody open back there.
I guess
Every
nobody was
time-
covering him.
I think
Glad he made that
the
catch. I'm
AI
sure the
detects
quarterback will look his way again when he needs
controller
another first
inputs, to tell you the truth.
Uh,
And I think what happens, because they're so successful at jumping up and knocking passes down like that, I think what happens is that they actually detect your controller input, and as soon as you press a button, though any lineman isn't completely locked up with an offensive lineman, just jumps in the air and puts his hands up, right?
Yep.
I'll tell you, I think that touchdown pass knocked the air right out of him.
Wouldn't surprise me if they had, something like that set up, because they are that is the hardest part of the passing game, is getting it over the defensive line, right?
yep.
Kicker lines up for the point after. And it's up. The extra point attempt is good. So that touchdown was the exclamation point on a drive that covered more than half the field and ate up a lot of time.
The defense was
However, you don't see someone come wide open on a corner route like that very often.
Offense for doing such a great job of executing.
And he got all of that one. A great kick.
Well, but you took full advantage of it.
Yep.
From the 3.
You recognized it right away.
The home team had their
Well, in Madden 05, that happens to be my favorite pass route, right? I throw that several times a game in that version of Madden, because it actually works in that version of Madden pretty well, right?
Pressure. It's rid of it. The pass ball's incomplete. Number 52
I know, right? Like, I've got like the
excellent
double
anticipation.
flat zone man coverage
Yeah,
thing
guys
going on
watch
out there, and he
film
still
each
throws
week
it
and
out there.
Try and figure out where he likes to go with
It's
the
just
ball
what
in
the
certain
AI does in this
situations.
game.
Then when you face that situation in the game, you're right there in position to knock the pass away or force an interception.
Gets the pass off.
Tight end flat.
Yep.
Big third down now. They'll probably get the ball to their go-to guy and give him a chance to make a play. Only one man in the backfield.
The go-to guy being the flat defender.
Yeah. That's certainly how it seems.
Picked off.
Oh, look at that. He got a tipped pass.
Room to run. He's at the 20.
That's a
He's
touchdown.
inside the 10. Touchdown. Visiting team. The defender is
It's a year of the turnover.
Yep.
He just stepped in front of that one. He saw his opportunity, and boom, he took it.
And again, we don't have interceptions turned up at all. In fact, we should probably turn them down with how many interceptions have been going on.
Yeah, well, we might have to consider it. We'll have to have a look, because it looks to me like they're starting to inflate just a little bit. Right?
Yeah, I think we're first in the league in interceptions.
Well, there's nothing wrong with being first in the league in interceptions, but when you start averaging 3 or 4 a game, I don't know. I'd say try it, but if they start racking up 300 or 400 yards passing on you in a game, though, and you can't stop them, then you might want to reconsider that adjustment again, right?
Yeah, well, because I guess...
because from what I can remember playing this game in the old days, that was the only way that you could actually defend the pass, was waiting for them to make a mistake like that, right?
Well, and another thing is, too, we've been running the math at the end of the game, every game for, like, the past couple games.
Yeah, and they still complete at least 2/3 of their passes most of the time, right?
Yeah. So, like, they'd have, like, a 65% pass completion, but you take away 2 of the interceptions that they throw every game, and they'd have, like, a 70%. Or better.
Yeah, so I'm not sure that, like, turning down user defensive interceptions is a solution. There's only so much that you can do to balance the game with the sliders, right?
Yeah.
Pass ball's incomplete. 3rd and long. Let's see what play they choose to keep this drive going.
And from what I can remember, even before playing with default sliders, is that I would give up, like 400 yards passing in a game. But I would also get
so close.
I would also get 5 interceptions, right? And including, you almost had them there. Including like a couple of defensive touchdowns and things like that. And I would shake my head and go, how is it that my defense can score twice and I still give up 400 yards through the air? Like, how is that even possible, right?
Yep.
I don't remember the last time I saw a game that actually did that, right? Because most teams that are competent enough to pass for 400 yards
don't throw interceptions.
Don't throw 5 interceptions in the same game, right?
Number 1 sets up. He sees something in the defense. Man in motion.
So yeah, I think a lot of it is just a question of trying to balance the end result of the game, right? They're sure bringing that outside guy a lot.
They're also playing a lot more man coverage in this game, it seems like.
Yeah, that's about the 3rd time I've run this play and seen them do exactly the same thing, right?
So they have 1st and 10 here.
Well, it might be a problem with their defensive play calling and these guys.
Yeah, maybe.
We're just about down to 1 minute. He hands it off.
Oh, look at that. I got a little help from the pulling guard there, eh?
Yep.
If the defense keeps giving up runs like that for 1st down, they'll have to make some adjustments to slow this guy down.
Number 37.
Well, they formed the wall that time.
2 yards on the run by the halfback.
Well, but you're doing good here, running out the 2nd quarter.
Yep.
If you get a little closer, you might be able to get a field goal.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm going to be paying big attention to what the end result of this particular play is.
The visiting team using motion. Pressure coming with the throw. A lot of space in front of him. The 20 to move the sticks with that completion.
I'll tell you,
Because I think I've still got all 3 of my timeouts, too. So,
Yeah, but
I
it takes
could-
average 4 seconds to run a play.
Yeah.
The end zone here.
Probably
They didn't
4
want
to
to blow their
6.
chance of getting some points before the half. So he has to
I
be
say you
smart
get one
with
and then you
his
get a field goal.
He'll pass on 1st down. Rolling out to his left. He finds his man.
Yeah,
So
I
that took 6
think
seconds.
I think we call the timeout, and then I remember the lesson that I learned the last time around.
The clock with that timeout.
And you
we,
kick the
and
field
we
goal.
send the field goal unit out, yeah.
Well, some points is better than no points.
That's right.
Number 7 leads the field goal team into the game for the attempt.
Oh, Jesus.
Did you make it? Ah!
No, the wind blew me out. Right? Oh. The kicking game. I've been kicking on that kicking meter early every single time up until that point.
Yep.
Right? Ugh. Boy.
Well, shall we take that break that
Yeah,
refreshes?
it's time for the halftime stretch, I guess.
And we're back.
And
Yes.
welcome back.
And we're returning the kickoff to start the second half. And so far, everything's gone our way except for that missed field goal at the end of the first half.
Good kick. Should be
Next thing you know,
returned.
that was the momentum shifter, and the entire second
So the
half
offense will take over
collapses.
after the fair catch.
Well, I have to say that I can definitely tell that this is not a top-notch defense that I'm up against.
You know, I think their
Because-
defense is only 72 overall, right?
Yeah, because these guys are just definitely not.
Jones comes in motion.
Haha! You've taken a trick out of my book.
And
Yeah,
he's tackled
except that I went
at
inside the
25.
tackle there
You're the
instead
backer
because
who
that's just where the
contribute
hole
consistent
happened to
positive
open up,
yardage
right?
like this.
Well, that's okay. It works. It works anyways. But yeah, like I use that technique all the time to block space backers and things like that.
Yeah, it just seemed like a good idea at the time.
Highly recommend.
They give it to the halfback.
Nope, let's go this way. Yeah.
Not much there. Maybe a yard.
Yes, I've got my fancy Christmas coffee in my fancy Christmas coffee cup. It's got like this candy cane on it, says naughty or nice.
Yeah.
The candy cane, I guess, is temperature sensitive paint or something like that. It lights up to like a peppermint candy cane when the drink inside is hot.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then when it's cold, it's just like a regular black outline of a candy cane.
Surveys the field. Throwing. He hits his receiver.
Now this is one heck of a play. Look at it. You're in a hole here on third down. And they come through
See,
with
they're
this
lining up
perfect
2
play.
or 3
They get
guys
to the
over there,
first,
but they've
keep
got
the
one
drive
less
going.
guy lined up over there than I do, right?
Yeah, and they didn't have coverage on that guy at all that time. I bet
so
you they were
that's,
blitzing.
that's what I'm doing is I'm using motion to try and get their players to move around. And
Yep.
then I'm just looking for the odd man out, like the guy that isn't covered by anybody, right?
Yep.
Isn't open.
The defense is going to need to try something different to
And
slow
you
down
know what
this running
that
game.
play was? It was just halfback belly, just out of a modified single back big formation.
Yeah, you probably didn't even have to adjust the way that play was drawn.
No,
did you?
I didn't actually. I didn't change a thing.
Well, halfback belly is a good play.
Yeah.
Looks like he's changing the play. Man in motion. Number 37.
Well,
The defensive line wins.
trying to
back
get
back.
people to
The
move
thing
around
is,
there,
that's where
but
it
they
all
weren't
starts.
moving around.
And whoever can take control and dominate in the trenches is going to have a huge advantage over their opponent.
They were not cooperating.
Number 1. See something in the defense. The visiting team using motion. With the throw.
There, see, that guy's the odd man out this time.
Yep.
Right?
Watch it here. This is a great call on third down to keep the...
See, all I'm doing here is basically the receiver in motion is just running a streak up the field, right? And then I've got this guy running a curl to the inside and that guy running a curl to the outside. And this front guy is also just running kind of like a streak, but I gave him a 90-degree cut at the beginning so that he could get away and clear the, without getting jammed, right?
Yep.
I want him to draw that player that's covering him down the field a few yards so I can throw that short pass
And we go back
and
to
then
the
run
field.
for a couple of yards before that guy can come back.
It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 44-yard line. Calling an
Oh,
audible.
well, look at this.
25. Drop back.
Well, okay, let's try this way.
Number 37. He'll mark it at the 42.
Yeah, that way you're matched up against the corner, right?
Yep.
I think they just had you outnumbered on the other side. You would have been stuffed in the backfield for a loss.
Well, I mean, you know what? I've had a little bit of happiness running the ball here, but I don't know that I've been wildly successful at it to the point where they need to bring all those guys up like that. But, you know, okay.
Again with the carry. Gain of about a yard by the fullback. Changing the play now. Using motion. He surveys the field.
Lineman.
Yeah, as soon as I press the button, they're jumping, right?
Yeah, two of them, side by side, in sync.
On that
Yeah.
throw.
They're practicing their synchronized swimming out there on the field.
Yeah, which is why I'm pretty sure that that particular motion by the defensive line is tied to a button input, right? Because I just don't see how they could, you know, like accurately and successfully do that maneuver every single time, right?
Not much hang time on this one. He's waving for the fair catch.
Wow.
That was a smart thing to do with the coverage team closing.
That was
in
not
for
a
big
smart
hit.
thing to do, John.
Yeah, well,
It's first
what they're doing,
and
I think they're
Ball
moving
on
up there.
their own 18.
They don't want you to be able to pin them, you know, like in around their 10-yard line or so. And that's why they're coming up and fielding those, right?
Well, and they won't fumble them in this game.
Yeah, well, not very often at least.
pressure, throws it. This one falls incomplete.
Well, I almost got in there. I was right in his face that time.
That
Yeah.
wasn't a sack.
Maybe I
What it
should
did
try
was make
jumping at the line.
quarterback adjust his throw, and it messed up his rhythm.
Fire out. Here come the heat. Set. Come on, D up.
Dropping back, gets the pass off. It's a
Oh!
It's a backward
Oh.
pass. Oh, he got it back.
Ball carrier down behind the line. That was a lucky bounce.
Yeah, that's keeping your eye on what's going on out there.
Giving some cushion on the outside.
That's what happens, though, when you turn around and fire those flat passes like that. I don't throw those like that
Only one
ever
man in the
because
backfield.
if you
Man
rush
in
them that
motion.
much, the guy's not ready to catch it yet, right?
Closing in.
Yep.
He surveys the field.
Oh, he's got
Throws.
forever to throw this.
And this pass is caught. And he's tackled at the 37.
Yeah, well, things
I
just
think
didn't work out on
by
the
the
pass
time
rush
he,
there.
I think by the time he threw that, everything had sort of just descended into a sandlot play where everybody's just running around looking for some open space, right?
You know, he was looking for that streak down the sideline again.
Yeah.
Down with the pass.
Whoa, wow.
This one falls incomplete. Hale got a hand up and tipped that pass away.
He has a knack
He
for
doesn't look
making a
happy
big
about
play.
it, though.
Yeah, he's never happy.
Yeah, it's funny, that guy, the random facial expression, and he looks grumpy all the time.
Drops back. Gets the pass off across midfield. Dumps the ball out to his receiver.
Tight end, hot potato again. Mystery
Yep.
route.
First downs are critical
Mystery
in this
route.
game.
Yeah.
And when the quarterback calls your number,
See, that's what makes
you
it
wanna
hard to
make
defend
sure you
those
make the
pass
catch
routes,
and
too, when they
mess
don't
something
run
up.
the whole route before they throw the ball. And they throw it early
Using
enough
the
that you
split back.
actually can't tell what it is that they were doing,
Throwing on
right?
first down. Under pressure, looking for the long completion down the left side. Well, the quarterback did his part.
Man, I'd been so
Sometimes you see
salty
the
if that was
receiver
actually a
drop the
completion.
easiest
Yeah,
passes.
well, see, that
He
will
must be
probably
thinking
count as a
touchdown
drop
before
pass,
making the catch.
even though in a lot of cases, like when you actually watch a game on TV too, if you see that kind of collision timed that way, the receiver's not usually going to hold on to the ball anyway, right? But I guess they're probably still going to charge that player with a drop, though,
Drops the
right?
interception. John, that went right off
Well, that was a dropped interception there.
That's the thing.
Well,
That was
that's
a
what Al
perfect
said anyway.
opportunity to make a big play for his defense. He lets it go as an incomplete pass rather than an interception.
And this is the 8th play of this drive.
Give it all you got. You got it. You got it. Think about it.
Pressure, gets the pass off.
Oh, there's one. A tipped pass into a crowd,
Made an
right?
Amazing
But
pick
you
on
expect
play.
that,
The
though,
defender
because
really pumped
you know what? I don't know that you need to turn down interceptions when they throw passes like this, right? This interception did not happen because you need to turn interceptions down, because that guy there high pointing the ball actually drops it, right?
Yep.
The only reason it's an interception is because there's 2 more players right there. You know, and the ball just happens to go to one of them.
So let's pick up the action.
And if they're going to throw dumb passes like that,
Were there like 4 guys in the area?
they deserve to throw interceptions when they
Quadruple
throw passes
coverage.
like that. You know,
Right.
like that's
So when you're running the situation mode or the football 101 mode, they're going like, okay, so we want you to look for and throw to the most covered guy on the field. But they still throw it there anyways, right?
oh yeah, they'll never give up on that, because I don't think they pay it any or a lot of attention to what kind of coverage is out there. They just throw the ball.
I think a lot of these patterns are drawn in such a way where there's a primary receiver on the pass route, and then they just throw it to him regardless.
Yeah.
He sees something in the defense. Using
Yeah, I think you're probably right about that.
And I mean, that was a full man coverage set up there with a flat zone.
Oh, I
underneath.
got sacked before I could throw the ball.
And the flat zone guy wasn't a factor in that play, but you know,
Look at that. What is this? I should have had protection there. Watch this. See, they're sending an extra guy, but still, like, what is that? I'll just step out of the way. Yeah, you can get a hit on the quarterback, no problem.
oh man,
He steps to the right to pick up this guy who's the latecomer. You see that?
yep.
Like, why would you not block the guy who's the threat coming in? Because this guy was open. I was going to throw it to him, right?
Because he's a moron.
Wow.
back to the field.
Sometimes these things are just.
It's in the game, man.
It's in the game, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
EA Sports is in the game.
Yep.
Third down.
Well, the thing is, they've always had kind of garbage can plays like that in the game. And there's not really anything that you can do to get rid of that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, the only difference is depending on which year you play, you get different garbage can plays.
Yeah.
So if you get tired of 05's garbage can play, you throw nope.
Yeah, I didn't
fine.
see him there. No, that was a lineman drop back, right?
I'll
Yep.
tell you, he did almost
See,
everything
and
right on that.
I don't necessarily watch when I go to throw these if I see this kind of alignment, because I see nobody in the second level here,
Yep.
right? This guy's way over here, and I figure he's probably blitzing. That's why he's lined up over there. So they're sneaky there, right? Like, they dropped that guy back, and I wasn't watching because I wasn't looking for that to happen, right?
Thankfully, he's a defensive
Yeah,
lineman.
he's a defensive lineman, so he's not going to catch the ball very often anyway, but I guess it's just another pass knocked down by the defensive line, right?
Hey man, my defensive ends lead the league in like pass knockdowns in some Maddens. Because they're playing the coverage routes, right?
Yeah.
I think I was telling another guy earlier, like, I drop my defensive ends in a deep zone because I don't have enough coverage guys to play man under 3 with flat zones.
Yeah. Well,
So somebody else has
deep,
to-
that deep zone defensive lineman more or less
So
fills the role of what a guy playing a hook zone right in the middle would do, right? Anyway,
Yeah, a little bit
really.
deeper, but yeah.
Well, I mean, he'll continue on deeper, but essentially, ooh, wow.
They're lucky that one was.
See, I don't think you need to turn up or turn down interceptions any, because you sure do drop your fair share of them too, right?
Yeah, but that's number 92 dropping them all the time. Fernandez in this case.
I know, but that previous one, though, it was a defensive back that dropped it at first, right?
Under pressure, goes with a short pass to the right side. No one there that
Yeah,
time.
he almost
Now
got the
it's third
interception
down
there too.
for the
Yeah.
But again, he was
Third and 10.
Fernandez out there.
Ball on their own 25, loosening up the coverage on the
Right.
outside.
Depending on what side of the field we were on, we have either Fernandez out there or
Gets the
Hennings.
pass off. Perfect pass. He catches a floater.
That was really
First
loose
down.
man coverage there, I gotta say. Alright, so he's got
Yeah.
man coverage on the tight end, and he's got 70. He's a 77 speed defensive back, so he's probably just as fast as his tight end, but he goes and gives him 5 yards of space.
Yeah, he turns away from him, right? And that opens up a big gap.
Yeah, so I don't know what that was all
And we'll go
about.
back to the game.
Yeah. Well, again, there were. I don't know if they fixed any of these kinds of flaws in the modern
Corners
games,
are
but
giving a bit of a cushion.
you know, way back when there were a lot of flawed things like that.
I mean, I've seen a lot of really crappy things off of Ryan Moody's channel too.
Yeah.
All right, by the looks of it, the modern games are worse.
Slings
If
it
I had
to the
anything to
outside.
say about it, if I had to give an opinion on it myself, and I mean, I've seen some of the things. Like, I know a couple of guys who have played those games and streamed them to me so that I could watch, and it's just like, no.
Well,
One guy, he had the game for a day, and I think he refunded it.
well, actually, this year's Madden, I watched a review by Angry Joe, and Angry Joe actually, you know, like he's a bit of a ham anyways, right? Like he plays that up.
Yeah.
But he was actually angry. He basically called it shovelware, right?
Oh, it is shovelware, though.
He said it was garbage.
On third down, you need to make sure you know where you are in the field. Because if you make the
And
reception,
it had very
should be
little, if
good
any,
for a fresh
redeeming
set of
qualities,
downs.
apparently.
If you make the catch and you don't get the first, it could only be due to lack of concentration.
Well, hey, man, at least they play their zone assignments in this game. I mean, you remember that interception we got? I think it was in preseason, where I'm playing the cover 2 in the middle of my own end zone, and
Yeah.
the safety realizes that nobody's coming into his zone, and
Yeah,
he
so
sees
he
that the
mo-
middle
so
is
he-
completely exposed.
Yeah, so he actually moved over to the middle, yeah.
Yeah, and he ran over to the middle and started covering the middle and went and picked the ball off, which would have been a guaranteed touchdown otherwise.
Yeah.
So, you know, you don't see that in a lot of the modern Madden games. I mean, like, yeah, okay, the pre-play calling audibles and things like that are a lot more complex and things like that. But I think really, too, they don't need that kind of complexity. What they really need is just players to run their plays correctly. Right, and play their positions correctly.
Yeah.
That's the big problem with Madden. Even these games in Madden. Even though, like, for example, the offensive line blocking is a lot better here in Madden 04 than it is in Madden 05. Again, like, what they really need is just players to play their positions properly.
Didn't get
Yeah.
any help from his offensive line.
It was just about
Well,
impossible
the
to
last
run.
Madden
You
that
had
I
guys
got
in the
was
backfield
Madden
just
11.
as soon as you snapped the
And
ball.
the thing about it was that I tried playing it, and it was a struggle just to be able to get my defense or offense, as the case may be, set up to do what I wanted them to do before the play clock ran out or before the opposing offense snapped the ball, right? Like,
Yep.
it was ridiculously complex, and they had like
Dropping back.
a million different audibles. You know, he dropped it that time.
This pass is incomplete.
You know, they had a million different audibles that you had to call for this, that, or the other. And I just found that it was too awkward,
Yeah.
you know. And the player controls were you know, like considerably different than even this too, right?
Yep.
You know, like an individual player control in this game, I find is a bit difficult to get used to, because it seems like it's very easy to
A lot of open field.
overplay something, or, you know, like overrun it, right?
Yeah, especially because this game, it actually seems to have a much faster pace than, say, Madden 05.
But in that game, in Madden 11, they had one drill where you had to control a defensive back and try to cover receivers in a, you know, sort of a mock offensive play, and I couldn't do it. I literally could not do it. The defenders could not turn and change direction as quickly as the receivers could, and I was always a couple of steps behind, right?
Yeah, I've never been a good coverage guy myself. I mean, like, I've had a couple of games where I play safety, and the main merit of playing safety in a game like this.
No, look
is-
at that guy got another one.
Yep. But the main merit of playing safety in a game like this is that the AI is programmed in such a way where they will throw it away from you most of the time,
Yeah,
because they, like, assume that you're, like, a super high quality caliber player. But mostly when I'm playing safety, I'm just making the tackle after the catch, because I can't play safety with shit, right?
yeah.
But so that's why I play defensive line here, because it's the most consistent way to have okay success and to not screw up anything. And at least if you can do your pass rush thing well, then you know it gives your other defensive players a chance.
Yeah. But anyway, it was like 12 years ago or something that Madden 11 came out, right? 12 years?
Oh yeah, something like that.
Close to, I guess it'll
13.
Be, yeah, close
13
to 13 years. But so I can't remember all the specifics, but I do. Yeah. But I do remember that it was horribly difficult to even just get the proper play called and make the proper on-field adjustments if you saw something you didn't like, right? Like, it was very... Basically, I got to the point where I would just call a play, and then I would just, you know, like, stick with whatever that was. I wouldn't bother trying to do any on-field audibles because I couldn't actually get any of those things done before the play started anyway, right?
These guys up front are very tough to block because they can use their size and strength.
Well, I'm playing the run super hard here.
Yeah, and they also took away all of, like, you didn't have hardly, you only had like 6 logos if you wanted to create a custom team. And what? Wow, he was play action passing from the one.
For that one, not only does it take away the scoring threat, but it gets the ball back for your offense.
Maybe he was looking to pad his stats.
I don't know.
The defense is shifting.
He's tossing that time. Oh, yeah, couldn't quite get off his block there.
Too bad. Well, you can't stop everything. You can't cover everything.
No.
The coach wants to go for 2.
Oh, he's going to go for 2.
2.
I guess you gotta call some kind of an audible or call a timeout or something here.
Yeah, see, I can either send 6 flat or send 6 pinch flat, and that'll defend against the inside run or the outside run.
Yeah, but then they'll drop back and pass, right?
It's just a guessing game. And I guessed wrong.
Yeah, what's the mathing here anyway? Why would they? Okay, they went for 2 here because now technically they're only 16 points behind. So if they scored another touchdown and then got another 2 and then scored another touchdown and then got another 2, they could tie it, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, another thing I didn't like about the later Madden games though was just like ever since Madden 2006, they basically took custom playbooks and custom playbook creation out of the franchise mode, right?
Yeah.
So they still had create a play in 2006, but you couldn't use it, I think, in anything except for exhibition games. And then after that, it just basically wasn't a thing anymore. And I don't remember, I think at one point they might have brought something back where you could choose, like, default plays. But to be honest with you, I'd rather just draw my own plays.
Yeah.
Right? So, you know, screw assembling a playbook of default plays. I actually want to draw my own.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things that actually was a feature that I liked the best about Madden as well. Because, you know what, I'm not a football guy, and when I was looking at the playbooks in Madden 11, and they were pretty large too, like they had a lot of plays in them, and it just seemed all very, very complex and, you know, like not very user-friendly, right?
Well, and you see other things too, right? Like, if you've ever watched any competitive Madden things, like I know I showed you that funny thing with Joke and that other guy playing in the Madden Championship there that one year, and Joke just goes and he does nothing but run the stretch run, and then the other guy does nothing but throw the slant pass all the time, right?
Yeah.
And basically what you end up with is you end up with a subselection of plays in those default playbooks that work exceptionally well. And then you have a couple of plays that are just like, they're not really worth it, right? A couple of plays that just don't work at all because either they don't work not because of solid football fundamentals, but because Madden isn't programmed right, or they don't work because they're broken, right? Because even in this game, there's a couple of out-of-the-box plays where like handoffs are broken or things like that. And, you know, it's just, if you draw your own playbooks, at least you know everything works and you know what works well and what doesn't. You have a little bit more variety of play calling.
Yeah.
Or at least in theory. I mean, you know, but at least when I'm playing, I find I end up calling like the same subset of like 10 plays anyways. But
well, because even in playbooks you design yourself, you discover that there is a selection of plays that work really, really well.
That's right, yeah.
But I've also found that with this experience, I end up with sometimes a selection of plays that work really well against, for example, this team, but they don't work really well against somebody else. Instead, something else works really well against somebody else.
Yeah,
right?
a lot of the defenses in this game play very differently from each other, whereas in Madden 05, it's like the same defensive coordinator, like, stamped and copied and pasted out onto the field over and over again, right?
Yeah, they basically all use the same method, which is basically crowd the line with 11 guys, right?
Yep.
That's their go-to answer for pretty well everything.
Oh, nice stiff arm. But, yeah, whereas, like, for example, when we went up against the Cox here, they played over in Atlanta. They played a fantastic defensive game, and they're not even a defensive team. Their defense was, like, rated, like, 82 or something like that, right?
Yeah, they're a balanced team, actually.
Yeah.
So they weren't really exceptionally strong or weak.
But Atlanta plays awesome defense in this game. Right? It's because of the coach and the coach's philosophy and his play calling in general.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, Green Bay, you know, they might have all Madden caliber team and everything, but, you know, they don't have the same defensive-minded coach. They didn't play as well as the Cox did, right?
Well, and another thing too is that they seem to be fixated on throwing the ball to the flats too, right? But more so than you know, than even other offenses are, right?
Yep.
And
but I guess you know,
when you keep doing that over and over again, and you have a defense that's fixated on defending the flat, then
they're in field goal range.
well, but I would say, like, you know, it's a mixed bag. Because in this game, I think in Madden 04, you see a lot of the same issues that you see in, like, Madden 22 or Madden 23, right? Where, like, for example, the quarterback, the defensive player is backing up in his zone, and he's standing right beside the offensive player, and then the quarterback throws it at the offensive player.
I just threw one there.
Hold down the trigger.
Where's the trigger? This one, yeah.
Oh, you missed him!
I know. He's not very fast, though, so I'm going to get him.
But the quarterback throws the ball at the defensive player who's obviously covered, right?
Yeah.
And then the defensive player just doesn't do anything and has his hands at his sides. You see a lot of that kind of thing in modern Madden, too, and it has to do with a player not having an animation for that.
Yeah.
So because they don't have an animation to...
Well, we're in run the ball 3 times in punt territory now. I'm not throwing another interception this game. I'm going to run the ball 3 times and then punt.
I mean, I think you only threw the 1 interception.
I know, but that was 1 too many, and look at what it did. It's going to change the way that this game is played now, right? So when I get the ball back, I'm going to run the ball 3 times and then kick it away. I'm just going to grind out as much time off the clock as I can without turning it over. Especially when you bail me out like that.
I was playing cover 2 there.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the thing is like they'll throw it right at a zone defender, and the zone defender in Madden 04 won't do anything, and the ball sails right by his head and goes to the receiver, right?
Yeah.
Well, in Madden 05, what ends up happening is, yeah, okay, they have the same limited selection of animations, but what the zone defender will do is he'll like slide and pop into place in order to make a play on the ball, where he normally wouldn't be able to, even though he probably should just, you know, like in a real game, if you threw a ball right at his own defender, he'd just throw his hands up, right?
Yeah.
It wouldn't be animation based, he would just throw his hands up, right? Well, in Madden 04 and in Madden 23, the zone defender will just stand there because he doesn't have an animation for it, and in Madden 05, the zone defender will pick an animation and then slide into whatever position is required to defend that pass. But if I have to be honest, I think the player sliding into position with the animation, at least in a play where he obviously has the pass covered, is preferable to a player standing there with his hands at his sides and doing nothing. Yeah. Right? It might look like bullshit at the time, but you probably shouldn't have thrown that pass with that defender standing right in that guy's face. Of course, Madden 04 is one of the only games where you can see a defender intercept a pass through the chest of a wide receiver. So, year of the turnover, right?
This line has to do a better job of holding up at the point of attack. He has a fast
Well, this is the year of the run 2 more times and then kick it away. I don't care. No.
But yeah, and I mean, if you look at Madden 05 in slow-mo, you see a lot of players accelerating into their animations.
Yeah.
And that's because they're trying to make a play on the ball, but they don't have a proper animation for it, so the game just zips them into position. But again, I think, especially in those double coverage situations, where you have it where like even in this game, where they throw it downfield and then none of the double coverage guys wave their arm at it because they don't have an animation for it. Well, in Madden 05, they kind of just slide into position and then wave their arm at it, and sometimes they get it, sometimes they don't, but I think that's preferable.
Number 1 sends a man in motion. Over the run once again. 4-yard gain there.
That, and again, I'd have to say the zone coverage. I think they screwed up the zone coverage as early as Madden 05, because in Madden 04 here, when I was playing that cover 2, I have never seen something like that before. Where that safety came right over and made the stop. That was amazing.
Yeah.
From the 12-yard line.
There. See, he only has to run a straight line down the middle of the field, right?
Yep. Whereas,
1st and 10. Ball on their own 18.
In Madden 05, they start getting this not in my zone coach syndrome.
Yeah.
Right? Where, you know, the guy's not in his zone anymore, so he just stops covering him. And they try to trade it off a little bit, but by the time you get to, like, the later Maddens in the 2010s and even the 2020s, then the coverage gets really bad with zone coverage. If you guys want a reference for that, go check out some of Ryan Moody's videos on the zone coverage in modern
Madden. Where he talks
Madden.
about not in my zone, coach.
Yeah, you can actually see the guy get to the end of his zone, and then he turns around and runs the other way, and there's nobody in his zone, so he should just keep following the guy out and trade him off, right?
Yeah.
But he doesn't.
Yeah, I think actually what he showed was a touchdown pass where a receiver ran into the guy's zone and then continued through the guy's zone, and at the edge of his zone, he just stopped covering the guy, right?
Yep.
And moved back to the center of his zone.
That's right.
And left the guy alone in the corner of the end zone, right? And actually, you get that kind of behavior still even in Madden 05. That's why I play
the cover 4.
The cover 4, because at least when that guy moves over out of position like that, he's got time to, like actually run over and make a play on when that guy leaves his zone, right?
Yeah, but that's certainly not a problem in Madden 04 here, right? Like, as we've seen, they will not leave a wide receiver isolated in the corner of the end zone like that. Now, whether or not they actually wave their hands at the ball or let the receiver catch it, that's a different issue. But
at least they're there.
At least they're there.
Okay.
Good job of getting downfield by the cover team to force a fair catch.
1st and 10. Ball on their own 34.
Now, the only thing that I liked better about Madden 05 zones is the zealous nature of the flat zone.
Yep.
Right, because they go straight to the flat unconditionally, no matter what, no matter what's going on in the field. And I rely on that behavior a lot in my defenses.
Yeah, actually what they should have done when they transitioned from this game to that one, I think, is they should have changed the flat zones in this game to be like in Madden 05. But they should have left the defensive alignments and defensive formations the way they were in Madden 04.
Yep, I agree.
Because it's actually more difficult to run outside against Madden 04 defenses.
Well,
right?
I mean, that's where you get your big yardage from,
and that's
too,
where
right?
you get most of your big yardage from. Like, I can sustain a ground game up the middle here
3rd and 3.
to a certain extent because of the wide spacing of the line, but I can't just run around them at will.
Yeah, well, didn't we just play a game of Madden 05 on the channel here where we were down 14 points at halftime, and then I came out and I completely abandoned the pass and just started running the ball, and I ended up scoring like 3 touchdowns on the ground?
Well, look at that. We just got a face mask penalty to help us out here. Now I can run the ball 3 more times.
But yeah, and that was because in Madden 05, the line is so tight together that you can just stretch, run, and run around them all day long, and there's nothing they can do about it, right?
Yeah. Well, so long as they don't have somebody burst through the line untouched, right?
Yeah. Whereas in this game, you can run up the middle between the tackles, which is what you should see in a regular football game, right? Most runs are in between the tackles, but and you can have success at it. Whether how much success you get, you know, depends on the team and depends on who you're playing against, but you're never going to like have like these big massive, you hand the ball off to the halfback in the backfield for a dive play for a 5-yard loss, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're also not going to get like 15-yard run, stretch run to the halfback, followed by 20-yard run, stretch run to the halfback, followed by 10-yard run.
Yeah, well, that's what the problem is. In this game, your running game can be much more steady.
Yeah.
And you'll get 3 yards, 5 yards, you'll get 7 yards, then you'll get 4 yards.
Maybe 2.
Then maybe 2. You know, like it's less extreme, whereas in Madden 05, you either get a 15-yard run or you get a loss of 3, right?
Yeah.
You know, like there isn't very much in between.
If you guys want a reference for that, I mean, go check out our Madden 05 series we got on right now. I mean, I'm running for like over 200 yards a game to the outside.
Yeah. Yeah, basically if you get a speedy halfback, like somebody with over 90 speed.
Yeah, the guy we got right now has 95 speed.
Yeah, he's got 95 speed, so basically you can just take the handoff, and even sometimes when those defensive linemen do get through unblocked, you can just outrun them, right?
Yep.
And
that's something that you can't do.
Oh, look at that, he picked up his own fumble.
Nice. But that's something that you just can't do in Madden 04. They actually play the outside run a lot better because of the wider spaced line. I think it's primarily because of that.
Well, and they have a lot of rush assignments where the defensive ends loop out wide as well, right?
Yeah, and it provides good containment. And also, because they don't play as much man lock in this game, they don't pull the corners in nearly as much, and you get your outside containment.
Good pickup of about 6.
Yep, that's right. See, in here, I'm going to have some nice rushing statistics in this game. But for one thing, like I said before, I think that the defense on this team is a little bit soft.
Yeah.
And also another thing is that I don't have any big runs on, like big gains on the ground, right? I think the longest run I've had in this game has been maybe 12 yards.
Well,
right?
And again, too, if you look at the NFL statistics for running in the season of 2003 here, a team that holds, or a defense that holds a team to less than 100 yards rushing is a hard run defense.
Yeah.
Right? Because most teams got at least 100 yards rushing a game at this time. In fact, most teams average more than 100 yards rushing. Right? Pass-heavy teams averaged 80 yards rushing a game.
Yeah.
In this year in real life, so.
He tucks it away.
He's over 100 yards in the fourth quarter. You can't ask for much more than that from your back.
Second and goal.
Well, it's time to close this one out now. See that when I stop passing? I feel like Chuck Knox out here.
Hey man, it's working though.
Yeah, bad things happen when you go to the air.
That's right, bad things happen when you go to the air. This is why I run for 200 yards a game. Right, it'll be 3rd down and 12, and I hand the ball off.
Yeah.
They're out there in the quarter defense, and I run a dive play.
Pickup of about a yard in the run.
You see there, though, they defended the outside run there quite well, right?
Yep.
I'm just going to let the clock run out here. I don't have to run another play now. They have no timeouts left. I don't really need to score any more points. I think this is good enough. So there you go. But another thing I noticed is that we haven't been having those huge blowout games in here like we do in Madden 05, right? In Madden 05, we basically run the score up over 40 points against just about everybody, right?
Yeah, pretty much every game.
You know, whereas in this game, as a rule, we often don't reach 30 points.
Well, and I think it is partially due to the balanced play selection of their defense, right? They're just not giving up that kind of crazy yardage.
Yeah. So let's see what kind of yardage they did give up. We got 144 yards on the ground. And
yeah, you did good.
I actually threw for 269 yards. And things were going well until I missed that spy and threw it right at him. Because that seems to be the way they get their interceptions against me.
Yeah, the spies.
Is those short passes over the middle, and they drop somebody in, or I think in that particular interception, they didn't have anybody standing in the middle to start with, but I think what they did is they manually moved their spy linebacker away out to one side, right? Because they do that in this game too. Like in Madden 05, they don't do that so much, but in this game, they'll manually position players, right? And that's why you get some odd looks sometimes, and they can catch you by surprise occasionally because they do non-standard things, right?
Yeah, like for example, the corner might be playing a flat zone, but they have him playing away in the middle of the field, and then he moves out to the flat, right?
Yeah.
They're just trying to disguise what they're doing.
Yeah, look at that. I had the ball in the red zone 7 times, and I got turned away 4 times. Well, I guess that last possession, but still. You know, I missed a field goal. I threw an interception. But I had a terrible game again. It's a good thing the defense can keep us in this.
Well, to be fair, I don't think they really, I don't know. They had problems, okay? They were throwing it into quadruple coverage.
Yeah, but that's the crazy thing. Look at this. I completed 72% of my passes, right?
Yeah.
But I still threw an interception in this game, too. And you know what? I managed 144 yards on the ground, but I had to give the ball to this guy 35 times, and he still wasn't making 4 yards per carry.
Well, more than 3.3, though.
Which tells me that Madden 04 doesn't defend the run all that badly.
Yeah, there was no reason for the 11-man box.
Yeah, that was completely that particular innovation in Madden 05 was completely unnecessary and ineffective.
Good for goal line defense, though.
Yeah. So we only had 1 drop pass in this game, though. And we had a couple of longer pass completions. Actually, this guy got another chance. I forgot to swap him out in the depth chart.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he's the guy who caught that long corner on the last possession, right?
He's trying to be like, please don't bench me, coach.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he caught both passes that were thrown at him, and he averaged 20 yards per catch, right?
Yeah, well, you could definitely tell that these guys were a subpar, substandard defense.
Yeah.
And even then, even them being a subpar, substandard defense, you didn't run the score up on them. The only team you ran the score up on was the Lifers.
Yeah, and they basically had nothing, right?
Yeah, they were a 63 overall team. They're garbage.
But anyway, there you go. Defensively, 3 interceptions, right? By 3 different players.
Yep. I mean, the Santa Claus one is not surprising. He seems to be averaging 1 a game.
Yeah. But you got 2 sacks from your right outside linebacker today.
Yep, although he's playing left outside linebacker.
Yeah, but look at this. 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 pass knockdowns.
Yep.
In this game.
As compared to the Green Bay game where we got 2.
Yeah.
We got 2 pass knockdowns in this and that one, and 11 in this one. So I do think it's just a dice roll comparing the statistics of the player you're against compared to the player that's defending him.
Yeah.
And if the dice roll doesn't come up, then they just stand there with their hands at their sides. And if the dice roll does come up, then they bat it down. And I have no idea what determines that or why we end up with such a wild variation in knockdowns where some games we get 2 and other games we get 11. But 11 is actually a closer number to what you'd see in Madden 05, right? Because they are always knocking down passes in Madden 05. Any pass that's an incomplete pass was knocked down, probably.
Yeah. So they had a lot of drop passes in this game, but they also, I think a lot of those drop passes were contested passes. You know, like where the receiver was hit while trying to catch the ball, right? And looks like Mr. Free Safety there got a lot of tackles in this game, and so did the middle linebacker and the left outside linebacker.
Oh, they sacked you once.
Yeah, I only got sacked once. That's actually a good game for me.
Yeah, aren't we?
And that was a defensive end that got that interception. So they dropped defensive linemen back in those spies. That's what happened there.
Yep.
Right. Both
and he
times.
Actually unluckily got caught
yeah,
it.
Yeah, they show me a look where there's absolutely nobody behind the defensive line. And then I think it's safe to throw that pass over the middle. And the next thing you know, a defensive lineman drops back in a short zone or a spy and he picks it off, right?
You know, for how much you get sacked, though, I'm just going to say, you're actually the least sacked quarterback in the league.
Am I?
Yeah. If you look at the statistics, we were looking the other day at the statistics, you're the least sacked quarterback in the league.
Well, anyway, I guess we're still undefeated.
All right.
But until next time,
I'm Rec B5.
and I'm Sandman99.
Merry Christmas.